Hi, my name is Sophia. I'm 22 years old and I am a nail tech, tattoo artist, and a portrait artist for galleries.
Gotcha. And definitely appreciate you for coming on.
No problem. Thank you for inviting me.
Definitely. So yeah, kind of starting from the beginning, like, are you from Houston? Did you grow up out here?
Yes, I'm born and raised in Houston. I actually grew up in Prairie View when in my younger years, and then
Okay.
I moved to the South Side in Sugar Land.
Gotcha. Okay. What high school did you go to?
Elsik High School.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay, so yeah, kind of paint the picture. Like, did you grow up two-parent household, single parent?
Um, so when I lived in Prairie View, I stayed with my mom and she passed in 2013.
I'm
And
sorry to
so
hear
I,
that.
oh no, thank you. Um,
Definitely.
uh, and then for my dad, I stayed with him for a few years and now I'm living on my own. So I'm just
Gotcha.
kind
Congrats on that. Definitely.
of, thank you.
Definitely. Okay, so yeah, kind of like describe like what you were like as a kid, like, up till high school, younger years.
So, a little bit about myself. I actually started drawing in sixth grade. My mom passed. I don't know, it sparked something, and
Gotcha.
I've just been an artist ever since. But I mainly focus on hyper realistic photos and portraits and stuff like that. I draw random people all throughout high school. I still do it now. So,
Gotcha. So
yeah,
what kind of just sitting in class looking at people just drawing them, or was it more like you want to sit
no,
and let me draw you kind of thing?
No, actually, I took all AP classes for as long as I can remember. So I would finish my work early and either sleep or I would just draw. Like everyone would know, like I would just have a big poster or a big drawing,
Gotcha.
and I drew shit for the school. Excuse me, can I? I'm sorry, I curse
Yeah,
a
you
little bit.
good. Do your thing.
Drew a lot of things for the school. Entered a lot of art competitions, vase, scholastic, all the gold medals and stuff like that.
Okay.
Um, I
So
wish.
you got to go ahead. My bad.
No. I'm gonna send you my art page so you can see it for yourself.
Okay.
But that's my main thing. And for as far as nails, I've been doing nails for 4 years. I started doing nails. My nail tech actually recommended it to me, and she
Well,
said that's
actually, real quick, just because like I kind of want to paint the full picture like before you got to nails. So we'll
yeah.
definitely touch on nails and everything, but kind of sticking with younger years and everything. Like during that time when you were like submitting competition stuff, like did you feel like it was like a realistic career choice, or like did you have something else you were working towards in high school or anything?
Well, I've always been an artist. I actually sold a lot of portraits in high school and the income was inconsistent. I've been selling since I was like 14.
Gotcha.
And yeah, teachers would like purchase it, but it was just like I said, it's an inconsistent income. So that's what made me decide to try to branch out with faster ways to like make money as an artist. So
Gotcha. Okay, so yeah, kind of like, during that time, were you interested in anything else? Like, was it only art at that time?
yeah, pretty much it's only been art. I've always wanted to like do sports, like going to cheerleading. I'm actually athletic. I go to the gym
Okay.
quite often. But yeah, like sorry. Yeah, I wasn't really in much else. I was drawing for competitions for the most part.
Okay.
Mhm.
Gotcha. And would you say you were more like an introverted kid, more extroverted?
Oh, definitely introverted. I actually didn't talk to anybody in high school, and I had this boyfriend for the entirety of it. So,
Okay.
uh, yeah, I really didn't talk to anybody.
Gotcha. You and high school buddies still together?
Oh, no, that
Okay.
no, that ended as soon as high school ended, actually.
Gotcha.
Um,
High school sweetheart type of thing.
yeah, and then I was just like, okay, it's time to grow up. So,
Gotcha. Okay, so
uh,
yeah, in high school, do you have like a idea like what you wanted to do, or like was it really just like I want to do something with art?
I actually wanted to be an art professor. It was a short-lived dream because my art teachers, all of them told me they was like, Sophia, please, whatever you do, do not become an art teacher. And I was just like, damn, that's actually what I was gonna do. And
Right.
they were like, it's not enough money. You're only gonna have like 5 kids that are actually art oriented, and then the rest are just going to be like, I don't know how to
Just
draw.
took that class just to for the credit or whatever.
Right. And as like for me in high school, in my senior year, I had like a half day and all of my electives were art classes. So I would just camp in the art class like all day, any
Gotcha.
chance. So I was a
Okay.
real pet.
Gotcha. Definitely. So did you have like any like thought of going to college or anything like immediately after high school that you were working towards, or was it just like figuring it out kind of thing?
Actually, I got a scholarship to an art college. I had a bunch of offers, but what was it? I didn't want to go to college. Well, when they told me about the art professor thing, I was just like, that makes a lot of sense. But like, it wouldn't make sense for me to go and get an art degree, and then now I'm just stuck with an art degree. You know what I'm saying? It's not many fields that you can make
Yeah.
new except being like an architect, but that's more interior design, that's more construction, and
Less like creative than like what you're looking for.
it's more what's the word? It's not in my art
Corporate.
style.
Okay,
Right.
gotcha.
I'm based in portraits and I like to draw people, and architecture is something totally different. It's art related. And a
Gotcha.
lot of people said like you should go into the police force and draw sketches, but I hate the cops. So I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't
I hadn't
even.
even thought of that. That is like a interesting idea though. Like they probably do hire people for salary positions like that.
Yeah, but that would be so boring just drawing criminals all day. You know what I mean? Like I only draw pretty people, so it would just
Gotcha.
rude, but like I'm just keeping it.
Definitely. Okay,
So
yeah. So on the scholarship part too, like did they require that you major in art if you went on the scholarship?
yes, and if some of them were out of state, one was in Chicago, the Art Institute of Chicago. I really
Okay,
wanted to go there and get my art degree. That's when I was ready to be an art professor or whatnot. But
gotcha.
the economy changed and COVID actually started my senior year, so I was out of school for like
That's so crazy to think about.
yeah, it's crazy. And we didn't even have a prom. We didn't have graduation. So it really just messed everything up. I was just like,
Gotcha.
I gotta find ways to make quick money. Like the world is changing, the internet is becoming more and more looking like a way to make money. And since I started with doing what was it? I was posting on TikTok for a while for the portraits and I did commissions and then I started nails. And that blew up. That page blew
Gotcha.
up.
Okay, so real quick, like, you got a unique experience of like finishing up high school during COVID. So like, kind of talk a little bit about that. Like, what was that like, being a senior graduating and like all the stuff you was looking forward to kind of evaporated.
Sure. So when I first I went to LSIC for all 4 years. When I first got there, I was actually a cheater throughout of high school. Like I cheated on everybody. I just found, and it's not
That's
like I
you
couldn't.
actually the smartest kid to figure that out, really.
Right. Like I was like, this shit is like it's easy. I could do it myself if I sat down and listened. But I have ADHD, so I'm just gonna go find somebody else. I'm gonna go cheat off of them, and
Gotcha.
usually I skate by. I'll become a teacher's pet, become the teacher's best friend, and draw them a picture here and there. Draw them some. You know what I'm saying? I'll draw them a picture. I'll make their board look all nice, or do some letters or something. And
Gotcha.
and I did a lot of logos. So I did a lot of
Mm,
teachers logos. And I
okay.
just, like I said, I just was like, fuck the students. You're not here to. I was a moneymaker. I was a hustler, like
Gotcha.
throughout all of high school. So
Okay. Do you feel like, definitely as much as you feel like, comfortable sharing and everything, like, do you feel like with your mom passing and everything, that had like an impact on like you wanting to make money sooner?
well, I'm the oldest of four,
Right,
so
that also.
yeah, and they're all stepping stones. So I'm 22. I'm 2 years apart from my brother, sister, and then younger brother, which is 20, 19, and 18. No, seven.
Gotcha.
You know, you know what I mean. And
Gotcha.
so I was just like, I had to assume when my mom passed, it's kind of my dad remarried. She wasn't really like, she is kind of a Cinderella story. She really wasn't the best mother figure. So it really forced me to like become the mother role of my younger siblings. And
Gotcha.
I don't know what snapped. Like, I was just like, okay, I got to get rich. You know, like I gotta get
Gotcha.
rich. I gotta use this art. I gotta simmer my talent and I gotta keep drawing. Everybody told me like just keep drawing, don't quit. Something's gonna pop. You know what I mean? So
Definitely. And on that too, like, and obviously you can stop me at any point. I'm just, trying to bring some value to people. So, on
mhm.
that too, like, how did you kind of, and, I'm sure you probably had down times too, but like, how'd you kind of like keep yourself from like getting depressed to where you can't move and actually keeping yourself moving,
I can get really depressing because I had a really shitty childhood. Like, so I don't, I've never met you, and well, I just it was really shitty. Like when my mom passed, my dad, he really couldn't handle being the mom and the dad, and I
Gotcha.
could tell that was a lot on him. Just four kids, and a little personal. He cheated on my mom before she passed with the woman that he ended up marrying. So we
Gotcha.
really had a little bit of animosity toward her anyway, because, you know,
Gotcha.
so that whole thing went down and it's just really shitty. She had a lot of family and they weren't the most welcoming. And for us, it was just like when my mom passed, my dad, he kind of just assumed their family. So he really wasn't a good father for a few years. And then he grew up and he chilled out and they separated.
And
And
definitely no shade to Pops because, people go through stuff, he's
yeah,
dealing with it
no
himself
shit.
too.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm still in touch with my dad, and I actually went over there yesterday. I did a tattoo on my sister. So
Okay.
um
Definitely.
yeah,
Shout out Pops. Shout out the whole
yeah,
family and
shout out to
everything.
Pops. And he's the one who got me into tattooing. He helped me, he invested in my supplies when I first started. So he
Gotcha.
definitely made a 180 on the whole,
Love that.
yeah, fatherhood.
Yeah.
So he's I give him his flowers. And also I get my drawing from him. He used to draw. My granddad
Okay.
was a carpenter, so he used to draw.
Gotcha.
And what is it? My dad's a mechanic, so he drew cars and trains.
Okay.
So it was all like we're all artistic, and I'm just
Gotcha.
based. Hmm.
Okay, definitely. So yeah, definitely I appreciate you going into that because, definitely I know that's a little touchy and everything.
Yeah,
But
no
yeah,
problem.
definitely. And then kind of like on what you were saying, like you had these scholarships and stuff, they kind of, would require you to do something that you knew long term you didn't really want for yourself. So like what was like the
Exactly.
first like the first pivot you made of like I have these things, but
I'm not gonna lie. In middle school, okay, so my drawing was my outlet, like my music, headphones. I would always have the best like
gotcha.
headphones just to block everyone out and just draw. That's all I did, like in middle school and high school. Like I said, my what made me pivot. So when I first got into high school, I was like 24 of my class. What was it, 4,000? And that's when I figured it out in ninth grade. I was like, this isn't really going anywhere. That's when my art teachers really started to tell me, like ninth grade, sophomore year, they were like, okay, you need to start picking a career.
Uh,
For the AP kids, they're like, either you're going to college or you're doing something else. You're doing a trade. And at the time when COVID hit, like I said, the internet really like just changed very fast. And I started being on my phone a lot more. And I was already on my phone a lot. Like in my childhood, I had the little bullshit slider phones and stuff like that. And then, and
little
you know how
sidekick thing.
I'm that generation where everything changed, you know what I mean? So yeah, so it really started happening. It happened around ninth or 10th grade. I was like, okay, college isn't gonna work. Like if I go there, I'm gonna have to go to be a doctor or a lawyer, and I'm gonna be drawing in the courtroom or drawing in the medical lab. You know what I
So
mean?
you had these offers like that early already, or you're saying like before you got the
No, I
offers?
just I always thought ahead. Like
Gotcha.
since my
Okay.
mom passed, I just thought about like what I need to do for my future. I've been trying,
Gotcha.
I plan on being rich by either like from 25 to 28 so I can settle.
Gotcha.
Hmm.
And also too, like, because definitely we'll get into the business stuff, but I feel like you got like some background that can maybe help some people. So like when you were in high school, being like introverted and everything, like, do you have any advice for people like getting through high school, being kind of a loner, or like, things to maybe like, kind of, have some fun in your life so you're not, depressed and lonely kind of thing?
Stay out of trouble.
Okay.
Stay out of trouble because I was a bad kid in high school. I actually went to alternative school in senior year. It was
Okay.
weird. But like I said, the principal over there at the alternative school, she had a liking to me, so she would let me stay in her office like the entire day. She would let me bring lunch. You couldn't even bring
Okay.
lunch at that school.
Gotcha.
And so I don't know. What I would recommend is just stay out of trouble. It's not like stay out of the wrong crowds. Focus on your money. I hate to say it, but this generation, like, it's not, you can't go to college and get a regular job and be sustainable. Like, I went from having one income to now having to do four different things. So
Definitely, like, to that point, I wouldn't say like you can't, but it's just less like reliable in a sense.
exactly. I mean, it's not that it's not possible, but it's not. Maybe I aspire to have big things. Like, I
But
aspire to live in luxury. I'm not gonna lie, and my siblings notice that in me because they're more average, and I notice that in them. They look up to me, and they look up to me to like get them out of it. You know what I mean? Get them out of the mud. Get us. We grew up in poverty, so
gotcha, like a lot of us and stuff. So,
yeah, like a lot of us, and just
but definitely, just to
average
that point,
American.
though. Yeah, it's my bad.
No, you're good.
What you said?
No, I said average Americans. My
Yeah,
bad.
but yeah, to that point though, it's like, like our parents' generation, it was kind of like you could spend the money and guarantee you'd have an income on the other side. Now it's like most of the outside of like 4 or 5 jobs, it's like it doesn't guarantee you an income on the other end. So you gonna spend this money guaranteed, but you're not guaranteed, so it's still a route there. It's just less reliable in the sense of like guaranteeing it, you know.
Exactly. And the influencer culture is really on the come up. Not that it's difficult for me to move with the times on social media, and that's what these kids are going through right now. Like, they're all on social media. They're forced to see adult things at more younger and younger ages. And they can't even read and write. They don't even work in school. You know what I'm saying? They're more worried about going viral on TikTok. So like I said, like, just focusing on your passion and what you really want to do in life. You know what I'm saying? If you
Gotcha.
end up, because you don't want to end up doing something that you don't want to do. I could have been a
Definitely.
doctor. I could have been saving lives. I could have been a lawyer. I could have been catching criminals. It's easy. It's just I'm an artist. That's not.
Gotcha.
I like to make people happy. I like to see people glow when I create something for them that they will remember. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Making people look good, making people feel good.
Definitely. And definitely that's kind of like the purpose of the podcast and everything, is just showing examples of like, people that are maybe not fully where you want to be, but like a few steps ahead of you along the journey. So definitely, as much as you can share out, want as much as we can get out of this. But okay, kind of moving into the business stuff too, like you said you were selling portraits in high school and everything. Like how, what were you charging? Like, was it consistent?
So in middle school, I was selling portraits as well. They were much cheaper,
Okay.
like 30, $40 in middle school,
Okay.
60,
I mean,
max.
that's good money for a sixth, seventh grader just trying to get some
I mean,
candy and stuff.
I was able to provide my own phone line. Like, I paid
Right.
$60 a month to get my own phone, and I had the newest. I bought all my shit. I
That's
made sure,
hard.
like,
That's hard.
working in high school. And
Gotcha.
I did get a job. Like, I worked at a restaurant when I turned 16, when I could get a job. And
Gotcha.
yeah, selling. So in high school, I sold portraits for 2, 3, and like how many people were in the photo. Like, if you had one person, if you need a background.
Gotcha.
I always, whenever I'm doing any of my providing a service for anyone, I always require reference photos, whether it's nails, tattoos, if you want a portrait. I always need a
Gotcha.
vision. I need a vision to go off of so that I know that you'll like it and it's still my art style, you know.
So yeah, during that time, like how we, because to me, like 200, 300 sounds like a lot, like for a kid in high school selling like.
It wasn't consistent. It was like that's like maybe every 2, 3 weeks. You know what I mean? Like it's
And
still money.
was it like from like friends seeing your stuff or like teachers or like, you know?
Yeah, I was quite the spender. Like I said, I bought a lot. I blew off a lot of money in high school. I once I made it, I would sell more drawings, or I would buy clothes, buy shoes. You know, stuff was expensive, so
But for those, I'm saying the like the portraits that you were selling for 2, 300, like those were classmates that just knew you did art or like.
no, it was. I didn't sell to any school kids. They can't. They're not even carrying that much cash
Yeah, that's
around.
what I'm
You
asking.
know,
So how are you, who are you selling to?
teachers, administrators, principals.
Gotcha.
Like I would, like I said, I would befriend all the teachers. You know what I'm saying?
That's a
I was
gem. That's a gem because kids will think like, oh, I need to sell to my peers, but your teachers are
those
the ones
kids,
with
they're
money
trying
and
to
they
they're
want to
trying to buy
support.
weed and vapes. They're not worried about buying a a drawing. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
some kids are like on my level. They have a job, they'll pay for it, but that's very rare. And I would also sell it to them cheaper. So I would always hike up the prices on a teacher. And
Gotcha.
for a student, I would give them a hookup, but I wouldn't put that much effort into the drawing because I know that they're not going to notice those little things as an
Gotcha.
adult would.
And to that point too, because I had a dude that's a barber. He just graduated from Eisenhower, and him and his one of his teachers from high school were starting a barber shop together.
Uh-huh.
So it's like to me, I'm starting to hear that a lot more. Like kids doing stuff with their teachers and kind of that's
Mhm.
interesting to me, and definitely like that's a gem for kids out here that like anything you selling like maybe think about including teachers in your market of people. You know.
Right. And that's another thing. If you can't find friends in high school, because I could not talk to my peers, I felt like I was annoying. Like not because I was an artsy fartsy nerd. Like I know once I start opening my mouth, like I'm gonna probably annoy somebody. So I just knew that about
Gotcha.
myself. Like I just knew that I wasn't interested in the minuscule topics that they had to talk about. Like as a
Gotcha.
child, like, oh, the girl did this or their fight there. You know, that's
Heard.
immature. I was really not on.
Heard.
I was quiet. Um,
Gotcha.
but I would say, like, if you can't find any friends in high school, talk to your teachers. Who really gives a shit? Like nobody cares if you like nobody really cares about you personally like that but yourself. So if
And even to that point, it's like your teachers have been out in the workforce, so like they have a
exactly, they have
network, they have
experience, they have
connection.
knowledge.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
connections. Exactly.
Definitely.
Hmm.
Okay, so yeah, kind of take me through like after high school, like what was like the immediate, plan after high school or.
So I did not have an immediate plan. I actually quit like um that whole COVID thing was pretty depressing,
Mm,
and I quit drawing for a year. Like I just stopped drawing. I think that's actually when I got into. She was actually really nice. She was cool. She sold me a car, my first car, and I just had I had a strong, a lot of a large amount of adults, like mother figures growing up. Like
gotcha.
even though I didn't have a mom, I had a lot of people in
That
my that
poured
I
into you.
right. They knew that I was going through a lot in high school, and I just wanted to draw. Like that's all I wanted to do.
Gotcha.
Just didn't want to deal with any of the drama. I was bullied a little bit, but that was more in middle school because I didn't have like I wasn't on my hustle. Like
Gotcha.
I wasn't spending on stuff I didn't
Gotcha.
need.
So
Yeah.
yeah, take me through like so you meet the nail tech, like you're not drawing and everything, you kind of start doing nails at that point?
Yeah, so I learned off of YouTube for nails. I I actually started doing tattoos a year after I got into nails. No, yeah, no, a year after I got into nails. I've been doing tattoos 3 years. So that's when I guess I broke up with the the boyfriend, and that
Steady.
sparked, yeah,
Gotcha.
that sparked the different income streams. So
Okay. So yeah, take
mhm.
me through like, you get the inspiration of doing nails and everything. Like, what's like give me
The
like the
inspiration.
first, well, no, give me like the first 3 months of like, you decide you want to do nails. Like, do you start watching YouTube videos? Like, how do you
Okay.
get clients? Take me through that whole thing.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Give me a moment. Ooh. So I moved out of my dad's at what? And I lived on my own for 2 years. That plays a part because I was bouncing around with friends, and I actually was a caregiver for a while, like a year when I first started. I was living with an older lady with dementia, and that's when I started doing nails out of her house. And I would bring people, so I
And
would
that
take.
is that did you have to get like a certification or something for that?
Actually, I never got a certification because the cosmetology school was $10,000, and I didn't want to go and get a nail certification
No, I mean,
and
I'm sorry. I meant for the age stuff, the home care.
home care. No, it was under the table. Like she was my
Gotcha.
next door, like she was my next door neighbor.
Oh, okay,
So I
gotcha.
was
All
living
right.
right next to my dad, but I wasn't living in his house. Like I was living with the
Gotcha.
old lady.
Okay.
And after that, I moved in with a friend. Well, she moved to Colorado, so she moved away. And then I moved in with one of my friends, and I was doing nails out of her house. So
Gotcha.
my nail tech, she told me it was gonna cost me like $350 to get started. So that's how much it costs. No nail drill, like none of the nitty and gritty, just the basics. And so I went to
350.
yeah, I just had the money I had in my wallet, went to the store, just blew it off on the nail stuff, and I started doing YouTube videos and just like practicing. I never bought a practice hand, started on my cousin. So I just did her nails. Like I didn't have like enough money to buy a practice hand. And so
Gotcha.
then I saved up to get a nail drill, which was I was trying to be fancy, and I bought this Kieris guy. It was like $400, and it broke down in like a week. Oh my gosh.
That's
And
crazy.
that was the worst. I couldn't even take it back. I couldn't even return it. And then I bought it again, and it broke again.
So yeah, kind of like paint the picture of like you're doing your cousin's nails and everything in the beginning. Like, how would you start really getting clients?
They were really sloppy, and I posted them on Instagram. I just posted all the nail sets that I did like every day or every other whenever I would do a nail set, I would post.
Like
And
on yourself and your cousin, basically.
yeah, if it's anyone, yeah, I would
Gotcha.
post. I was real cheap. I did 10 people's nails for free. So
Okay.
like 10 models, like, and then I started charging like $10 and then $25. And that was like the first within like 5 or 6 months. And then I started charging like I don't know, 50 when I moved into my friend's house because
Gotcha.
I bought a nail table and I wasn't working on like, you know, just a little regular table. I started buying supplies and appliances to get started.
Gotcha. And
And then
those
about
those first, what'd you say?
a year in, I was good. Like I had a clientele base, but that's only because I'm an artist. Like I picked it up really quickly. You know what I mean? Like I only
Gotcha.
fumble like the first 10 sets, and then after that
Yeah.
it, it was up from there.
So definitely like, I can see like you being good at art and like the nails kind of selling themselves, but kind of like, take me through like the nitty gritty of like, how'd you get your first initial clients? Like after you did the models and everything, like were you
I had
posting or like, you know,
I had a lot of followers on my art page, so people knew that I was an artist, and they would come support me for the nails. So I had
God,
like was it 2019 or 2020? I think I blew up on my TikTok and I got like 20,000. I haven't, and then I didn't post in a year, so then page went dead. So I'm still posting on it. I'm still trying to get it back up, but then I started doing nails. And then I blew up on there. I think it was a year in, maybe 2 years is when it blew up, like really blew up. But
so
one
yeah,
year,
touch on that a little bit. Like, the TikTok stuff, like, do you like did you have a plan of like I'm gonna post this many times a day or like,
No,
anything specifically?
I did not post multiple times a day. And that's actually a big thing. Like as soon as I got consistent, that's when the followers started rolling in. You have to post every day on Instagram. Like it's no ifs, ands, or buts. But I don't. So I just
Gotcha.
have like a steady engagement. You know what I mean? Just people that's been following me over the years, teachers. I'm still in contact with a lot of people that I grew up like with, grew up.
Gotcha. Okay, so yeah, any tips as far as like TikTok or Instagram growing on those platforms? Like, anything
Um,
specific you could give people?
specific, good lighting, good, as far as nails or art or tattoos, because
Or
they all
just
different.
growing either page, like, maybe touch on each one, like, tips
Okay.
for growing the pages.
Okay, so starting with the art page, um, well, in general, if you want to blow up, if you really just want to blow up and be like everybody else, I'm trying to have a certain niche. Like, I don't care about blowing up right now. I want to blow up for certain things. Like,
Yeah, I saw you do like mainly long nails, right?
exactly. And I used to post the short nails, but they wouldn't get engagement. And I don't like doing short nails, to be honest with you. Like it's not enough space. That's what it was. When I first started it, I had a lot of short nail clients and I was trying to get out of that. I would bully people and force them to get longer nails. I'm not that sounds
Gotcha.
bad. I would be like, okay, next time you'll get it just a little bit longer for me. And then they'll be like, okay. And then before you know it, they got some long nails. So
And definitely like to the art stuff too, like that makes sense, like more room to work with for you, like definitely.
exactly. So for the portraits, no, we'll stay on nails. We'll stay on nails. So for posting on Instagram, like I said, just like you gotta have really good lighting. Like make sure you get a good ring light. Make sure you have a good background too, because if it's dirty or if it looks like unprofessional, like if you're first starting out and you're just trying to see if you like doing nails or not, because some people don't want to get the license and then start doing nails and then
Hmm.
realize they wasted a lot of money doing
Right.
something they don't really like. So for people who are just trying to get out there and see if they could blow up or this could possibly be a career, just making sure like you keeping it very professional. Keeping it professional with the clients is top tier, and having good customer service, like in all three. You got to have good customer service. Like if
Gotcha.
somebody comes to you with a complaint, that customer is right. Like you can think all in your head how much you want, like how wrong they are, and like, but the customer is right. Like you have to accommodate, because that goes a long way, and word of mouth goes a long way too. So if you were rude to somebody and then they tell somebody else that you were rude, you
Right.
just lost a small group of people. You know what I mean?
And on that too, like, do you like have like deposit requirements and everything to avoid like cancellations or like, losing money because people flake?
I actually have quite the story about. I've been going through a lot with this nail page. So when I ask it again so I can word it right.
I forgot what I said.
I know it just flew out of my head. Okay.
Uh, I forgot. We could just move forward though.
Okay.
So yeah,
The
like as far as TikTok, like, anything else or Instagram, anything else you feel like you could add, like, things that maybe or like the people whose nails you do, like, do you get them to post all the time? Like,
Oh, you
uh,
asked about deposits. That's sorry.
oh yeah,
It
gotcha,
came back to
yeah.
me, deposits. So I did charge deposits for that. When I first started, like, no, I didn't when I first started. And then once I got like 6 months in, I was like, I started having a lot of cancellations. Like people would just like straight up no show. And then ask we customers, they do what there's
Hmm.
difference between customers and clients.
Right.
And customers, they do whatever they want to do. They just text you when they want, and they wanted it done yesterday. You know what I mean? Like they're
Hmm.
on their own time. And then couple years in, I got canceled on Twitter. Oh,
Talk
thank God.
about it. Talk about it. Okay.
It's
Man,
like
go
let me keep it nice, but you
You
pulled it out
good.
first.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, talk about it. So
Don't
you
bake
got
me.
canceled. What happened?
But say it again.
You said you got canceled?
Oh yeah, I got canceled. So I had a bad experience with a client. It was inevitable. She She booked an appointment. She canceled that day, and then the morning, I scheduled her for a couple days later. This girl's been going to me for years, so it was
Gotcha.
really weird. When okay, TMI, she's a stripper, so
Okay.
strippers get long nails. Another tip. So if
Gotcha.
you
Okay,
can't
so
get
on that
long,
real quick, to touch on that too, like for anybody listening, if you want to specialize in long nails, you would say target strippers,
target
people in that
strippers
world.
and try to get celebrities. I've done a few celebrities, and they tend to get long nails too.
Gotcha. Who have you
Yeah.
worked with?
Um, what's her name? Young Boys, baby, one of her bands.
I
I
know
don't
the
know.
name too.
I
That's
don't know.
crazy.
She's got like a
I
million
don't
of them.
know
I
why I
don't
know
know
her
her
name, but
name.
I know who you're talking about.
But she's got a lot of followers. I was like, ooh, okay.
Gotcha.
And she's not technically really a celebrity, but she was high. And then
Gotcha.
what's his name? The little Roland Ray, the
Oh, okay. The wheelchair dude. Gotcha. Okay,
yeah.
you did his nails. You were saying, oh, you got canceled, so that happened.
And so she, one of the stripper clients, she booked an appointment, and I scheduled her for a couple days later. Of course, I didn't charge her, and she's been coming to me for a while. So most of the people that have been coming to me for years, when I first started, I stopped doing the deposits, especially if
Okay.
they're reliable. But she tends to be reliable. So she was bullshitting that day, and then I told her like, okay, I'm gonna be home in like 30 minutes. I'm not home yet because I think I was running some errands. She gets mad and because she Ubered over to my location, and she gets mad and she goes to Twitter. So yeah,
So
that's
what
only
happened? Like, was she post like?
that's the only con I would say working with like strippers. They are messy. But what did she do? What did she say?
Yeah, what happened?
Twitter, that's T. Hold on.
No, I mean, we
Okay,
moving
okay,
past it.
here's the truth. I
People will
was
be
at
able to
my
hear you talk about it. So,
Okay, here's the truth. I was at my sugar daddy's house and I told her I'll be there in 30 minutes. Then she went to Twitter and she's like, this bitch is doing nails, tattoos, selling pussy on the side, and that blew
Jesus
up.
Christ.
And I was
Christ.
like, I had to own my shit. I had to own it. I was like, yeah, I do. But but
I wasn't ready for that.
right, like, okay, so that's 4 jobs, right?
That's
Why, right?
crazy. I don't even know if I should even touch on that.
No, we not. We're not gonna touch
All
it.
right, we'll keep moving, man.
That's the truth. I just told you the
Say
truth.
no
But
more.
yeah.
Say no more.
Um, so she gets mad and the shit goes viral. It gets like 10 million views, bro. And there's people sending me death threats like for nails and like, I
Jeez.
hope you die, you fucking bitch, like you nail tech, and sorry for my language, but that's
Look.
how it works.
So did
And
they like find your account and everything?
yeah, my Instagram, they was blowing me up. I
So
was
I
like,
mean, did it help you grow at all, or was it
yeah,
just
I
all
mean, it
negative?
helped. It gave me clout, but it wasn't good clout. You know what I mean? Like,
Gotcha.
I don't want to blow up for a negative aspect. People just
Definitely.
like to blow up just to blow up, being random, stupid. But I want to blow up for like something more meaningful. You know what I mean? So when that
Yeah.
happened, a lot of people were like, even some people were like, "Oh, I don't even care. Her nails are really good. No wonder you got mad." You know what I mean? Like, no wonder
Mm,
you took it that far. But
gotcha.
I actually gained clients, and
That's what I was gonna say because I'm gonna say this repeatedly. Like I heard Wallow say it, Wallow from Million Dollars Worth of Game. Haters are your marketing team. Like let them argue in the comments and build your engagement. And people who actually want to work with you gonna see them arguing, see your page. You know,
no, I actually deleted all those negative comments. It's not a good connotation even like I said, not
yeah,
all clout is good clout. And
yeah,
it's my page. You're not gonna talk shit on my
yeah. I
page.
feel you.
You
I
gotta
feel
keep
you.
it professional. So
Okay, so yeah, how did like having that happen? Like, was it like,
I just
did
had to
you?
stay on my phone constantly and delete comments and
That's
DMs
crazy.
and shit. It was
I ain't gonna
crazy.
lie, like spending even you spending the time doing that is like, you could have spent 3 or 4 hours on your business where, what I'm saying, you could have got those 3 clients back that you might have lost from what she said.
Exactly.
That's why it's like I get what you mean, like you don't want to blow up for anything, but also it's like you making money, you work for yourself, like you
And
don't
if you
have,
get if you don't have haters, you're not doing something right.
you know what I'm
So
saying? Like to me, it's like you don't have time to be worrying about what people saying. On to the next client, you know?
exactly. So
Definitely.
that's how I treated it. I didn't even respond on Twitter. I didn't even make a response at
Okay.
all. Like I just went
Gotcha.
ghost. I was like, oh, I can't. Like that's way too unprofessional. Like
Gotcha.
y'all don't need to know. Like why
Heard
would she
that.
do
Heard
that? And
that.
she's a stripper at that. Like you sell pussy too. We're both in the same game. Like what? Like why are you trying to bring me down? You know, like
Gotcha.
so
Okay,
that's
so
what
yeah. Yeah, moving forward.
I'm moving forward. But that's just
Yeah, gotcha.
sorry.
So yeah,
Sorry,
after
you
that
asked,
happened,
I answered. And that's that's just
gotcha. Okay, so yeah, after that happened, like, how'd you kind of, maintain your client base or, keep growing at that point?
well, I had my solids. Like most people were just like, oh, she's just mad because she can't get her nails done by you. You know, that's what it was. Like
Gotcha.
because
Have
when she caught the attitude, like she was mad. She hung up in my face. She sent me like this paragraph about about why are you not here, and I was like, you know, like you canceled. I'm not gonna sit around and wait for you, you know, to show up or not. I got other money to
you,
make. Sorry, not sorry, but
mhm,
I'll be there. I'll do your nails and give me a damn sec, you know. So
got
yeah, she that was pretty
no, I
bad.
feel you.
That was pretty
Okay,
bad.
so yeah, something
And
else too.
I had a lot of people like just was like, oh, well, yeah, I don't care. Like, I'm gonna keep coming to you. I never had any problems. And people's nails last a month. They get press-ons from me. I've got like my loyal clients that actually have work to do and are actually going somewhere. You know what I mean? So those
Gotcha.
people that I listen to.
Gotcha. Okay, another thing too, like, have you tried Instagram ads or TikTok ads or anything like that?
I did when I first started. I paid to promote my stuff, and that actually helped grow engagement. Like it sparked my little viral thing, like my first small viral trend. And then after that, I just blew up on my own.
Okay,
Right
yeah,
now,
talk about that a little bit, the ad thing, like how it kind of helped.
well, I didn't pay that much. I'll probably spent in total maybe 50 to 100 bucks in Instagram ads. I can't remember. It was so many years ago. But when that happened, I started getting content for the followers that I had. And then after that, I went. It was up and down. Like you blow up for a little bit, and then you're a ghost. Like everybody's in
Gotcha.
for a while. I was shadow banned for a little bit, and then I posted another set. It was a long nails, and they were hand painted, and then that got like 60,000 likes. I haven't really gotten anything. I want to reach 100K likes. I've never gotten a post that has 100K, but on my art account, I have 99K. So
Gotcha. Definitely. Shout out to
right.
you, man. I mean, that's a real fan base, you know?
I mean, I want consistency. Like if I want consistent engagement, then I have to be consistent. You know, it's
Right.
the circle. So I got like 1,000 followers each day after that, and it kind of stopped around like what 17, 18, and then I just started growing a little bit from there. It slowed down.
So you
Um,
saying you was doing like 1,000 followers a day off the ad?
no, that wasn't off the ad. That was
Okay.
by myself. Like
Gotcha.
I was incognito. Like I was shadow banned for like a couple months, and then I blew
Gotcha.
up on my own.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, kind of like talk about like, the work-life balance, like how often you work versus like, what
I
time you
have
have off.
I have some tips for beginner nail techs. If you feel like you're getting acne on your face, it's probably because you're not wearing your mask when you're doing the nails. So I went through a time period when I was working like 16 hours, just nails back to back to back. No breaks, no sleep, like just working. And then
Gotcha.
um I got acne really bad, like it was all over my face, like cystic, and it hurted, and I was like scratching it and shit. It was really bad. I took a break and I went to the dermatologist. They couldn't help me out, and then I went to a natural herb lady, and she helped me out. So shout out to
Tip.
my goddess because she's a really good skincare expert. What else?
Yeah, talking about work-life balance and everything, like do you have certain days off or like you only work certain days?
My clientele is pretty like consistent. I make money here and there, but I don't have as many clients as I did when what it was like 6 months ago. I'm actually trying to focus more on tattoos. So like even though you're asking me about nail questions, like
Yeah,
nails is like it's like a solid regular clientele. So I would say I get like maybe 5 clients a week. Then they pay good because they're long nails. You know what I mean? Like
gotcha.
I'll do a few short nails here and there, but they're like an hour of my time, 2 hours of my
Okay. And how much would you charge for like, an average set or
average short set 65, 75. If you want like hand painted and stuff, it goes up from there. Most I've charged for a short set is like $95 for hand painted on all 10. For medium nails, it's like 90 to really like 115, 120. And
okay.
most people tip really well. That's why I don't try. It's and the reason why I don't charge as much as like what I see people charging on Instagram. First of all, because I think it's bullshit. I don't think people are charging that much. Second of all, you you don't get tips and you don't get returning clients either. You can't charge out of the ass and expect people to come back. You know what I mean? You
When it's
and
a
also
new girl popping up charging $50 every day.
not I'm not trying to be the cheapest, but I'm not trying to be like outrageously expensive either. Just like a happy medium. Also, a third, the work is very easy for me. Like nails are is a very it's like sculpting. It's very, very, very simple in my
Gotcha.
eyes because I work on hyper realistic artwork. So that
Gotcha.
takes like 100 plus hours, 200 hours on a piece, you know.
Gotcha. Okay, and then definitely like I'll give you a little time to kind of talk about the tattoo stuff too, but kind of give me like, the downsides of being a nail artist, like
The downsides,
the
the chemicals.
oh yeah, acne.
Yeah, the chemicals, you have to be really weary. You gotta wear your mask. You gotta make sure you're protecting your face, protecting your body. The nail dust, wearing an apron, you know what I'm saying? Wearing gloves, those certain necessities really, really help. And they help with the nail tech self-care, not the customer, because the customer's just gonna be sitting there for a couple hours and then they're out the door. But
Gotcha.
you gotta have proper ventilation because you're breathing in all that toxic.
And you still do nails from home or like a shop or private studio or something?
So I had a private studio at first, and I actually travel to Chicago every month. My family, my aunt in Chicago, she flies me out there to do nails and tattoos every month.
Okay.
So I work in a nail salon out there in Chicago,
Gotcha.
black owned business.
Heard that. You want to shout them out in Chicago too? Shoot.
J J Nail Salon. I think it's Love J. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, kind of for motivation and everything, like somebody listening that might be thinking about getting into nails, like what's like a good month you had income wise doing nails to like, give them an example like what you could really
A
make
good
doing that
month. A good month. One week I made like 2,000 in a week.
in a week.
Yeah.
For
Like
how
it's
much, for how many hours of work would you say?
that was like a lot of hours. Like I said,
Gotcha.
16. I was working a lot and I don't like working that much anymore. Like I don't like
Gotcha.
or better word to put it, I don't like investing that much time in the nails anymore because tattoos is
Gotcha.
more money. So
Gotcha. Okay, so yeah, last thing on nails, and we'll go into tattoos a little bit. Like for somebody that's starting out, like if you could, redo your journey and kind of shorten it to like 2 years, or like, just in general things you could kind of do to save time, you know.
just practice every day and stay consistent with the posting. Like if you have to practice on yourself and then you got to practice on clients. Like, oh, and if you don't want to like nail techs, because I change my nails out like every 4 days. So
Okay.
for nail techs, I would recommend doing press-ons for yourself. Like, don't do acrylics. I haven't worn acrylics in like 3 years. So I only do press-ons because they don't damage your nail beds and you can take them off easier when you need to because sometimes I work in extremely long nails, but for somebody who
Gotcha.
work in long nails, you can pop them off quicker.
Gotcha. Okay, and
Mhm.
then anything else you want to touch on that maybe I didn't touch on as far as nails?
As far as nails, any tips?
Oh,
Let's see.
any hashtag advice or anything that you do? Any hacks or anything like that? Hashtags?
Hashtags, hacks. No, I don't think so, but not really. I mean, like y'all
Gotcha.
said, the press-ons, just making sure that you have excellent top tier customer. Okay, number one, top tier customer service, making sure that every client leaves happy, checking in on the nails as they're being done. Like, hey, do you like this? Hey, do you want to keep? Because 9 times out of 10, if the client doesn't like their nails, they're gonna tell you right after the set, like, hey, I don't really like this. Or they're gonna, if they're really shy, they're gonna cry in their car and then they're gonna tell you the next day. I've done that before. So
Gotcha.
being making sure that every client leaves happy. Like I would tell my clients straight, I'm like, don't fucking lie to me. If you don't like your nails, tell me right now. You know what I'm saying? And we'll sit here and fix it while you're here. Do not leave unhappy. You know what I'm saying? Keep watching them YouTube videos. YouTube helps a lot with nails. You don't really have like if you need to take a one-on-one class, do so, but you'll learn a lot off of YouTube. Just spend many hours and then decide if you want to go to like cosmetology school or not. I actually am going to go next year, but I have to balance my work school schedule because
Yeah,
I would have to go from 9 to 5
gotcha.
weekdays. Yeah. So
Gotcha.
that's also why I put off school. Money and it's the time. Like I'm gonna have to give a year of my life to, you know.
Gotcha. Okay, so yeah, moving to the tattoo stuff, like how long you been doing that? How, what was like the initial phase of getting in?
It's kind of the same thing as the nails. I just did like 10 models for free, like clients. My tattoo artist got me in the it's all the same.
Gotcha.
When I
Literally the
started
same story, start from scratch.
yeah, like okay, so when I was 18, I got my first tattoo and he was like, you should pick up a gun. And then my dad, he was like, okay, I'm forcing you to pick up a gun. So he came with me to my tattoo artist. And he was like, okay, Sophia, you can do whatever you want on me. Just do it. And I shadowed him. I bought my tattoo gun and I apprenticed him for like 3 sessions. I only took like 3 sessions from him. So I tattooed my dad, I tattooed my brother over there, and then I tattooed my sister.
Gotcha. So just off like having the art background, it was a little easier for you to.
It was much easier to get the depth and the mechanic. Tattoos they're harder to do. Well, it's 50-50. Like it depends on the client. If the client doesn't like, if the client works with you, it's going to be an easy tattoo. If it's a difficult client, it's going to be a difficult tattoo.
Gotcha.
So like I said, I bought my supplies. My dad helped me invest in that. It was about 2,500 to start for tattoos. So
Okay.
that's much more expensive, but you can charge much more and it's quicker.
And
So
also because definitely you probably got like the more like professional stuff because I've heard of people starting with like $50 machines and stuff
oh
and you kind of
no,
building up
my
from
tattoo
there.
gun. No, so for nails, I started out really so nails was my first like quick money grabber. Like artwork, you're not getting your art until like 5 or 4 months. The longest I've spent on somebody's drawing was 7 months. So
Gotcha.
that's how long those pieces take to complete. So nails was quick. It was like 2 hours. I can make the money. Um, I bought cheap nail supplies when I was first starting out, and my nails didn't do as good. They didn't look as good. And when I started investing in the higher quality product, that really helped. It helped makes everything easier, especially me being an
Gotcha.
artist. It's just me learning the strokes, So for tattoos, I was more weary of that because it's needles and it's 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 permanent. Like nails you can take off in 2 weeks, but a tattoo is permanent. So I was much more scared going into tattooing, and that's why I took the apprenticeship. Like I did 3 sessions.
So real quick on that, you said you did the 10 model thing again, like 10 free tattoos type of thing. Like,
Uh-huh.
did those all like did everything kind of lead to clients from there, or did you do something else like, posting tattoos or ads or
Oh
anything
well,
like that?
yeah. I posted my tattoos on my page. I actually have not blown up from tattoos, but that's because I haven't put 100% effort into it. Nails was the only thing I was doing at the time, which is why I was able to catch on much quicker. But I already had nail clients when I got into tattooing, and tattooing is a harder aspect to learn. So
Gotcha. Have you tried like sending some of the people from your art page over to the tattoo page?
they
Like,
all follow me on all pages. I always make sure that everybody knows that I do all three.
gotcha. So yeah,
So
any tips as far as like something like anything different from the nails that you did, like different on the tattoos that you didn't do on nails, like as far as getting
okay,
clients?
as far as getting clients, tattoos is harder to get somebody to do it because you're inflicting pain on them. So it depends on the person's pain tolerance, and tattoos are more expensive. So it's two totally different aspects. It's like it's way easier to get nail clients, and but it's less money. You know what I'm saying? And
Definitely.
it's more harder on your body and your lungs. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. So
So
your nail page and the tattoo page are connected. You have them like posted on your main page.
yeah, so I have a main page, which is where I post my art because I don't post my art as often. So that's also why I can't produce content that quickly because it takes me 5, 6 months to
Gotcha.
so that I post myself on there too just to keep it active.
Gotcha.
Um I have a separate tattoo page and I have a separate nail page.
Okay. So yeah, anything else you want to touch on as far as the tattoo stuff before we
As
wrap
far
up?
as far as the tattoos, let's see. Hmm. I'm working in a tattoo shop currently, the Dark Anchor. If you're gonna get into tattoos, you really got to do it 100%, and you have to have some sort of artistic like drawing abilities to do tattooing. Nails is easier, but you still got to paint.
Gotcha.
So you can do rhinestones and you can do the acrylic and learn that, but if you want to like paint and do intricate designs, you definitely have to start drawing first. Which that's why I think these trades were easier for me to get into. So if you're
Gotcha.
an artist, get into it. Get into modeling. Get into makeup. That's cosmetic. Get into nails. Get into tattoos. Microblading is also tattooing, and it's good money too. It's coming up.
Heard that. And yeah, definitely appreciate all that on the business stuff. So to end the show, I do pretty much if you have any other entrepreneurs like that you want to shout out, anybody you work with or do business with or anything you want to shout out.
Can I look? Because
Yeah, go for it.
I'm not even on social media. I just follow people. Nailed in the Mix. She's a Dallas nail tech. Nailed in the Mix. She's really good. Uh,
Anybody in Houston?
Mike HTX. He's a very good photographer.
All right.
He's one of my best friends' brother. He's really good. Who else? Let's see, one more. Mock Dog, MAWK Dog. He's my tattoo artist. Very good work. I'm sure he don't even need a shout out. He's got a
Yeah, I
lot.
think I DM'd him too, actually. I'm waiting on a response from him. So
Okay, if you want to see, he's got some good work. I'm gonna show you.
okay.
He did this one. I don't know if you can see it.
All right. Shout out Mac Dog.
Yeah, shout out to him. And did I send you my art page?
No, definitely after we wrap up, definitely I'll get that from you.
Dude, that's crazy. I should have sent you that. That's crazy. But yeah.
We could have talked about it, but we could do a part two, definitely.
Oh no. I want to send it to you personally so you can see what we're working with.
Oh, all right,
Hello?
bet. Okay, so yeah, one more or a few more questions, two more questions just to kind of wrap up the show real quick. So
Mhm.
one or two pieces of advice for a high school senior or junior getting ready to graduate, as far as like finding out what they want to do, picking a path going forward.
Uh the internet is a very big place and that it's that much more convenient. So if you have certain things in your childhood that you were interested in doing, I would suggest looking it up on YouTube. That's all. Like I wanted to do lashes for a moment and then microblading, and then I watched it on YouTube and I was like, this is tedious and boring. And that's for somebody who they're just good with a steady hand. But you know, so like
Uh,
just find things that like if you're a female, I would say just go into the beauty guru aspect. You know what I'm saying? That's real easy to find some work there. I'm all about the hustle. So just for dudes, like just stay on the hustle. Like get your money up, not your funny up. But you
gotcha.
know,
Definitely. To add
that's
to that too. Just let
and don't do drugs in school. Like I
yeah.
didn't start smoking weed until I got out, but I would say don't. I wouldn't recommend it because it really fries your brain when you're young, and it's hard to get off of. So just keep it safe.
Gotcha. Definitely appreciate that. And just to add to that, definitely because I feel like, like you said, like people will spend money to get into these fields and not actually know what the day to day is like. Definitely, I
Mhm.
would suggest like looking at some of these day in the life videos or like, what it's actually like to do a day as that job. So
Exactly. And
definitely,
nowadays you don't have to test. You don't have to buy a whole bunch of products to test something out and to see if you like it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right,
internet is so free. You can really just figure out if you like something by watching somebody else do it.
right. All right. And so yeah, definitely I appreciate that. And definitely go ahead and tell people where they can find you, where they can follow you if they want to work with you, get a tattoo or some nails or something.
Yeah, sure. So my ads, nail page, designing with Sophia. My tattoo page, tats with Sophia. And my art page is Sophia's pencils.
Gotcha. Cool. And yeah, anybody watching,
No
if you got
period.
anything from this,
Oh, sorry, there's no period.
yeah. So yeah, wrapping up the show. If you got anything from this, you enjoyed watching it, listening. If you got anything you want to support her, support me, definitely give her a follow. Go like some of her stuff. Tap in, get some nails done. If you like this, enjoyed it at all, like it for me, give me a follow. It'll help with the algorithm and all that. And my name is Tyree. This has been another episode of Green Seas, the podcast. Appreciate you.
Thank you.